Hello you beautiful people, how's it going? I've had a really busy couple of weeks. It was my birthday last weekend and that was really cool. Had a massive meal, load of friends, turned 28. Getting a bit old now. I did my first collaboration as well. That went really well. A lovely guy by the name of Yetibear asked me a load of various questions about LARP because he's off to his first one. But I was more than happy to oblige. I think that's quite a nice segue because guess what? It's a LARP Q&A. That's right, I put the word out. I asked you guys if you've got any questions about LARP or anything in general, let me know and I will answer them for you. So here I am, I'm about to answer your question. The first one comes from Diginix, and the question is, which do you prefer, PvE or PvP combat? So for me, definitely PvE, purely because I really enjoy the massive epic battles. And the kind of sense of, you know, actual legions fighting against legions. I think it's really cool and actually gives you a really nice kind of story to tell. At the end of the day, I had this massive epic fight against, you know, some fuck-off orcs with me and my mates. Don't get me wrong, I think PvP is fun and really cool if it's done properly. I'm not a big fan of just ganking people for the sake of it, but if there's a reason and it's executed properly, I think it could be a really fun part of the game and give some really epic roleplay, especially when it comes to storytelling and actually just kind of developing your character. So the second part of Diginix's question is, what is your favourite LARP genre? Fantasy, sci-fi and steampunk? And this was also asked by Terminally Nerdy. So what's your favourite LARP setting? It's quite a vast question, I find. There are many types of LARP games. There's post-apocalyptic, there's cyberpunk, there's fantasy, there's high fantasy, there's historical, there's fantasy historical. It goes on and on. There are as many types of LARP games as there are films and book genres. For me, at the moment, I'm really interested in post-apocalyptic. I don't know if it's going to be my favourite. I've never been to a post-apoc game. But at the moment, it's really captured my imagination, and that's kind of what my focus is on. In the future, I'm hoping to do a load of different tutorials as well on post-apocalyptic kit. So yeah, definitely post-apoc currently. Driving Me Crazy had a really awesome question. Adman, how would you prepare for or cope with chafing? It's a lot of movement in different garb than you're used to day to day. It's happened to me a couple of times, I'm not going to lie. Especially when it comes to like quite coarse linen fabrics on the old nipples, that's not great. Usually I've just kind of had to grin and bear it. More recently, I've got some steel braces. And because where I've lost weight, they were fitted to my arm and now I have to do them up extra tight, which means that the metal's actually digging into the skin and so are the leather buckles. What I've actually had to do is wrap my arms with some arm wraps, just sort of protect them and then cover that over. So that's kind of what I've been doing recently. I suppose the old runner tactic with a bit of Vaseline on the nipples, if that ever happens, could come into play. Not something that I've ever done, but I'd probably do that in the future if it became an issue. Wes of the Wesocracy had a load of questions, so I'm going to go through them all one by one. The first question was, Adman, what got you into LARPing? I got into LARPing because my boss at the time was like, hey, do you want to come LARPing? And I was like, what's LARPing? And basically, we dressed up and hit each other. I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun and something I can get behind. We kind of did it a really weird way. A lot of people I know kind of got dragged to their first event, didn't know what they were doing. Luckily, we knew somebody who'd been LARPing for about 15 to 20 years. So we got a lot of information before we went in. We did a lot of practice and training. So when we hit our first field, first combat, we were straight in there. We knew exactly what we were doing and we actually had the advantage on a lot of people. So yeah, what got me to LARPing? The bloke I used to work with. Actually, I still work with him. Where's his second question? Where and what was your first LARP? My first LARP was Empire, and it was held at Tournament Stud, which I think is near Milton Keynes. It's sort of East Midlandsy. Where's his third question? What is your most memorable moment LARPing? Do you know what? There's a load of really memorable moments. I think the one that really stands out was, I think it was either second or third Empire. So it's my second or third event. And the main battle was that we had to charge this fort. And it was at the end of this forest path. And it was an actual fortress door. We had to smash into it, clear it out and actually break through into the main battlefield. Everybody was scared because along the top of it there was archers firing down, just raining arrows. So me and the guy that got me into LARPing, Dan, we turned around to each other and went, do you know what, let's just storm it. So you've got me and him storming down this gate by ourselves. Like a good 500 people behind us just watching going, what the fucking hell are they doing? We absolutely smashed straight into it. Next thing we know, everybody else is piling in behind us. This shield line with shields above and in front of them just comes crashing in. Absolutely amazing. There's a wicked picture of it. Where it just shows us like tearing ass forward and me with this huge roaring face. going hell for leather. I think that's definitely my favourite moment from LARP currently. Question number 4 from Wes. What is your most painful moment LARPing? Fortunately, I've been injury-free. I've had the normal aches and pains after an event where I've kind of pushed myself a bit too far than what I'm used to and been a bit achy. I think the most emotional pain that I've had was when 3 of my friends died in front of me. That was really sucky. More from the point of view of my character, obviously, but actually, it was the first time I'd lost a lot of people that I was close to as characters. So yeah, that was quite a big emotional drain. I kind of do get a little bit weepy about it occasionally. But for the most part, I'm okay and I'm over it. But yeah, that's quite a painful memory. Wes's 5th question, how has LARP affected your life? Well, I currently have a YouTube channel where I talk about LARP. That's quite a big effect on my life. More so than that, I've got a house full of LARP gear that I need to store somewhere. All joking aside though, I think the biggest effect it had is that I've met a load of really fascinating people, and some of them I'm actually lucky enough to call friends now. You know, I think any hobby where a mass group of people come together for these events is great at meeting new people. You know, if you're into cosplay, going to conventions is really good for that. And LARP is kind of the same thing. I suppose the only major difference is, you know, as opposed to cosplay when LARPing, is that you're dressing up and hitting each other and playing a character. I don't think anybody gets hit in cosplay. They might do. I don't know what those crazy kids are doing these days. And I can say crazy kids because I'm getting old now. But definitely the biggest effect of my life is meeting some absolutely fantastic people that I'm lucky enough to call friends. Question number 6 from Wes. What is the biggest challenge to you? Hopefully, I'm sort of understanding what you're saying. So what's the biggest challenge for me when I'm at a LARP event? I think sometimes it's actually staying in character. I have a big problem where I find it quite easy to drop out a character. And obviously that results in some situations where I'm missing plot because I'm actually busy off being ad and not my character. It's something that I'm working on, it's something that I want to get better at, it's something that I want to go to different LARPs, maybe not with such close friends. So I'm kind of forced into character a bit more instead of being more comfortable to be myself. So yeah, definitely that's probably one of the biggest things I struggle with. And Wes's 7th and final question, oh Wes taking up all my time, is a troll LARPer a bad LARPer? And why? Now, I'm assuming you don't mean that they're actually playing a troll, like a, you know, a 7-foot, oh, I live under a bridge kind of troll. And you're more talking about the internet version of a troll. I think actually that makes a terrible LARPer because all you're doing is out to ruin everybody else's fun. You know, you're not playing a bastard. You're not being a, you know, like a Tywin Lannister type character. You're just being a prick. And that's not great. Nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to, like, be associated with that kind of guy. You know, everybody's there, they spent money to be there, they put an effort into their character, into their costume, and if somebody's just taking the piss the whole time, it kind of ruins the whole experience, I think. So hopefully that answers all your questions, Wes. Right, let's move on to somebody that isn't Wes. Did you next ask me what are the worst weather conditions you've ever LARPed in? I've been quite lucky. I've managed to miss a lot of the Empire storms. I dodged KT because I sacked it off on the Friday morning and got out of Dodge. But I think definitely the worst one was... Oh, which event was it? Empire's notorious for crap weather. The very first event they did had minus 13 degrees, which was great for all the people who were like, hey, it's going to be lovely weather, and got absolutely ruined. I've been in a lot of mud piles where it's got proper boggy and it's just been raining and windy and absolutely horrible to the point where people have been struggling to put up tents. I don't think I could pinpoint it to an exact event, but there have been loads where it's been utter dog rough. I mean, we are talking huge puddles, people losing boots, shoes falling apart, people just slipping over or being like absolutely, literally stuck in the mud, tents getting wrecked and ruined by wind. There have been some horrific weather conditions. Mostly at Empire, it's quite an unlucky event to be honest. So that's all the questions for now, guys. Thank you very much for sending them in. If you've got any more questions, let me know. You can either leave them down in the comments below or you can hit me up on Twitter at adman2099. And then I've got all my other social medias which will appear right here. La 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 la. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed these videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hey, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment below? If you do answer me any questions, I will answer them in the next Q&A. And that about wraps this week up, guys. Down here on the left is the collaboration I did with Yetibear. He's heading off to his first LARP and I answer a load of his questions for him. Down here on the right, it's the tutorial that I did with the leather jacket, where I take a normal black plain leather jacket and I duff that bad boy up so it's ready for the post-apocalyptic wastes. As always, thank you very much for watching. I've been Adman, you've been awesome, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.